Very good morning to all of you who have joined us this morning for another episode of Ply Reporters Brand Buzz. Ply Reporters Brand Buzz with Pragath Dvivedi are special episodes that give an opportunity to buzzing brands in the market to share their USP, new features, innovation, latest updates, and important messages to the businesses, channel partners, and industry. So, there are three kinds of leaders in the corporate world. One who watch what's happening in the industry, second who wonder what's happening in the industry, and third category is the one who actually leads and sets new trends in the industry. Our guest speaker today, Mr. Shekhar Sati, President, Sales and Marketing, MDF and Flooring, Greenpanel Industries Limited, can easily be put into the third category of leaders who make things happen in the industry. An MBA with 25 plus years of work experience in the building material trade, he has worked in companies like Jaguar and Company, Orient Bell Ceramics, Simpolo Ceramics, and Wellspun Group at senior level positions prior to joining Greenpanel Industries Limited. He has a history of turning on the businesses to achieve exponential growth. He has led Greenpanel from a turnover of 478 crores to 1150 crores till December 21. Some growth in turbulent times like this. And that's been possible because of his excellent rapport in the market with dealers, trade people, and investors, successfully building and managing an excellent deliverable large team. Leading from the front is his core competency. He has been associated with Greenpanel for the last 2.5 years now. During this tenure, he did a lot of strategic changes which helped the MDF division of Greenpanel achieve more than double the growth, both in value and volume. He has built brand Greenpanel as the leader brand in the MDF industry. Greenpanel, as you know, is India's largest manufacturer of wood panels and has state-of-the-art manufacturing plants in Uttarakhand and Andhra Pradesh that produce medium-density fiberboards, plywood, block boards, veneers, flooring, and doors. Their manufacturing plants have a combined annual capacity of more than 588,000 cubic meters of MDF. This is complemented by their robust distribution network of 3,000 plus outlets spread across the country. Now let us see a glimpse of the Greenpanel industries here.
The world is moving towards sustainable, versatile environment and people-friendly living. Greenpanel Industries Limited, the largest manufacturer of MDF in India and leading wood panel brand in Asia, is committed to this new lifestyle. Being a true Make in India brand, Greenpanel is strengthening the nation bit by bit, piece by piece. We resolve to delight our consumers with new generation solutions in wood paneling and surface enhancement. The brand has made a remarkable journey over the years since its earlier avatar as Greenpanel Max and now as Greenpanel. We are the torchbearers of New Global India, and we do so under the guidance of Mr. Shiv Prakash Mittal, Chairman, Mr. Shobhan Mittal, MD, CEO. Greenpanel is striding towards setting new benchmarks for the industry. 2 state-of-the-art manufacturing facilities with German technologies, sustainable practices across categories, a wide distribution network with 3,000 plus retailers and 24 plus branches in India. We, the pioneers of the MDF revolution, are here to redefine wood panel industry. We are proud to present the building blocks that makes interior spaces desirable and strengthening the nation. We are Greenpanel, a world of limitless possibilities. We are Greenpanel, the pride of India, the panel of India.
Great. That was amazing. Now let me hand over to Mr. Pragath Dvivedi, Chief Editor, Ply Reporter, and Founder, India Interior Retailing, to take the session forward with Mr. Sati. Pragath, you can start.
Yeah, thanks to you, Madhu, and thanks to all the audience. Thanks to Greenpanel team, and I welcome heartily Mr. Shekhar Sati. शेखर जी एक डायनामिक पर्सन है और एक फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग कंपनी के डायनामिक प्रोडक्ट के टीम को हेड करते हैं, प्रेसिडेंट है सेल्स मार्केटिंग के। मुझे लगता है कि इंडिया में आज एमडीएफ के नाम की चर्चा होती है तो ग्रीन पैनल उसमें लिया जाता है, और कहीं ना कहीं विजनरी लोगों में श्री शिव मित्तल जी, श्री शोभन मित्तल जी, और इस प्रोडक्ट के पीछे किए गए कार्यों की चर्चा में ग्रीन पैनल का नाम काफी आगे रहता है। स्पेशली जो ये प्लांट है ग्रीन पैनल का, नया वाला काला हस्ती में, इट्स एन अमेजिंग प्लांट एंड इट इज बीइंग डन विद ग्रेट सेंस ऑफ डाइवर्सिटी, सस्टेनेबिलिटी ऑफ टिम्बर एंड टेकिंग द होल ग्लोबल मार्केट एज ए विजन ऑफ दिस प्लांट। शेखर सती जी का स्वागत है कि वो ऐसी कंपनी के एक काफी एम्बिशियस प्लान का हिस्सा है। आपका स्वागत है शेखर जी। लास्ट ईयर आल्सो वी स्पोक टू यू ऑन द टॉपिक्स ऑन द चेंजेस दिस इंडस्ट्री एंड दिस ट्रेड इज ऑब्जर्विंग। आज के इस एपिसोड में ऑडियंस को सबसे पहले मैं धन्यवाद करूंगा कि उन्होंने बहुत अच्छी संख्या में इसका रिस्पांस दिया। बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस पूछे गए और उन क्वेश्चंस को हमने कहीं ना कहीं सिंक्रोनाइज किया है, और उस फ्लो में उसकी भाषा बदल सकती है, लेकिन आपके सवालों के जो जवाब हैं वो आज के इस 30 मिनट्स के क्रिस्प सेशन में जरूर मिलेंगे, ऐसी मुझे उम्मीद है। तो शेखर जी, कैन वी स्टार्ट राइट नाउ? हेड ऑन टू द क्वेश्चन।
Yeah, thank you very much. First of all, Pragath ji, for making me the part of this live session today again. Yes, we are meeting exactly, I think, exactly after a year now. Lot of changes has happened, I mean, post that. So it is always, I mean, it is good to discuss, the way forward and how things went on and what all things are there. So it's a great opportunity for us and trade, and we are all set to go ahead. Yeah, so you can.
लास्ट ईयर से अभी तक एमडीएफ में ग्रोथ तेजी से देखी गई, बल्कि मैं ये कहूंगा कि सिर्फ ग्रोथ डिमांड में नहीं, शेयर प्राइसेस में हो, इन्वेस्टर के इंटरेस्ट में हो, डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर्स के सीकिंग में हो, यानी कि मुझे एमडीएफ का काम करना है। तो ये जो लास्ट 1-1.5 साल की वेव रही, इसका कारण क्या है?
See, I think last year से definitely, I mean, lot of changes has happened. Growth भी आई है definitely, आप कह सकते हैं, but if you see the last year, I mean, because after the first COVID wave, the market was almost empty, imports were not happening, and it was a great advantage for all the domestic companies. We were one among them, so I mean, all rided on that, and all scored I mean, good numbers. But post that, if you see, although import, मैं थोड़ा ये I'll use little English also because a lot of South audience is there.
Yeah, true.
50% of my market, so they also should understand that what I am communicating.
Yeah, perfectly well.
Yes. So in last 1 year's time, yes, the more or less the demand remained same, although we saw the second phase of COVID, right? A lot of ups and downs came, and situation, I mean, we gone through the tough situation. Second wave almost, vanished the entire market once again in May and June this year. Then this third wave, that was too quick, November onward, November, December, even January went in that also, in that COVID, this thing. So demand, more or less, imports are still not happening. That is true. But at the same time, if you see, lot of domestic companies has come in the market, and almost the similar capacity of material got pumped in the domestic market. सात आठ 10 कंपनी जो भी आई हैं, we were just calculating आज की डेट में, previously we there were only 4-5 companies, like, but right now 7-8 others players, they have also strongly they have come up and they have started their full production, and they are definitely giving us a, somehow a tough time to all the players. So more or less, if we say, if जो vacant हुआ था area, जो market vacant हुआ था import से, so that has got filled, rather उससे ज़्यादा material आ गया. So demand is there, but yes, competition is also there. So this is the change I see.
तो शेखर जी, आप ये कह रहे हैं कि हॉट तो है, मार्केट तो बड़ा है, और ये सारी जो हीटिंग है एमडीएफ के डिमांड की हीट है, यानी हीट यानी फॉर द ऑडियंस आई विल टेल, व्हेन वी से मार्केट इज हॉट मींस द डिमांड इज हाई and supply is somewhere not meeting the demand. So that's where we use the terminology called hot. So Shekhar ji कहते हैं कि imports were not there, the market became hot, but many of the players have pumped up with their capacity, and today the market is now tilting towards becoming competitive. Do you mean that, sir?
Yes, exactly. I mean that only. I mean that is the current situation now. So saying, the moment, I hear from people that, market is easy, and all MDF people are easily able to sell the product. So basically, I wanted to counter that. So the market has again become competitive. It is good. It is
but I have a doubt. Yes. On the one side, you are saying market has become competitive, but what I see is the pendency of material, which was there 2 months, then became 1.5 months, then became 1 month. And today also it is almost 20 days to 30 days pendency. So इसमें कहाँ competition दिख रहा है? इसमें तो अभी भी supply crunch है.
Yes, that's what I'll reply to this. I think, in MDF things are changing very quickly, Pranavji. I think you might not be aware the situation, which you might have seen, heard, couple of months back, that may not be there now. So yes, December and January, after this third wave, February, even January also, there the market was absolutely sluggish. Although we did well. We did well because we are doing a lot of structural changes, lot of different things, focusing on product mix. Teams are running out, working hard. But it is not that market is so easy now. Yes, the demand to some extent, I'll say demand is consistently growing. Demand is growing. I'm not saying that market is not growing. Market is growing. Demand is growing. But at the same time, now the supplies or number of supplier within the country or from the country have increased, and they are also able to somehow grab some of the shares somewhere. So that way it is somehow a balance, I'll say. It is not one-sided now. So that is why I'm using this term called competitive. And this situation, I think you'll have to quickly you'll have to depute your voice to share quick data with you, because situation is changing really very fast. Probably the situation you might have seen, heard, observed in January first week, that may not be there now if you go in depth. So that is the situation. Yes.
So for the audience, I'll tell that January से February में situations थोड़ी बदली है, says Mr. Shekhar Sati, and what I feel that yes, for wholesalers the scenario has changed a little, but for retailers MDF is still hot, and that is why I am going to ask another question. Sir, market में बहुत घूमता हूँ मैं, 20 दिन 22 दिन तो इधर ही उधर हमारा गर्मी में समय बीतता है सर. तो मैंने ये देखा अभी भी एक रिटेलर अभी भी लगता है उसको कि एमडीएफ फास्ट ग्रोइंग सब्जेक्ट है और प्रोडक्ट है, और इस आर्टिकल में घुसना, आपको क्या लगता है एक रिटेलर के लिए कितनी जरूरत बनी है अब एमडीएफ आज?
रिटेलर के लिए इसमें 2-3 क्वेश्चंस हैं मेरे ख्याल से. I would like to answer them also. So ये जो मैंने आपको बोला कि कॉम्पिटिटिव हो गया है मार्केट, it is not a fear. It is I extremely welcome it, and I welcome a lot of companies coming into this, and at least if they comes, market becomes competitive. At the same time, that helps somehow to make the category more popularized in the market. So if the demand, that creates a buzz itself in the market. So this, I have seen in my past companies also. In tiles, maybe, last time also I shared. When I was part of tile industry, I think 4-5 branded companies were there, and I was part of one company. Then all of a sudden, a lot of production came from Morbi. So that somehow, for a temporary phase, that put a lot of pressure in market, temporary demand and supply gap, you can say. Demand more, or sometime, demand and supply was somehow equal. But of late, that market also grew. A market was 20 of just 10,000 crore became a market of 2 lakh crore. So that helps to, to grow the overall, category as a whole. So this is a welcome move. Now, the necessity of, MDF for a retailer. Yes, I'll say this is the right time for the retailers to start MDF. Why? Because, I'll repeat the same sentence. Is still the share of MDF in domestic panel market, be it plywood, MDF, or any other panel. The MDF share is just 6 to 7%. Last year it was 5 to 6. Probably, I think this year it would be 7 to 8. Still 92% market share is with other companies. When such enormous potential gap is there, chances are always there to grow. So if the product grows, and second, people are also getting aware now. So MDF is getting accepted within the retail fraternity also. Earlier, MDF happened to be a product of OEMs and carpenters or furniture makers. But now we have seen, architects are also started recommending. Government departments are preferring the product. Households also are buying, preferring MDF because they have understood the advantages of MDF gradually. Although lot of work is still to be done, but somehow I see at least some demand in rise in domestic. So if domestic demand, if this MDF start going in residential, then ultimately who will be the first point for them? It would be a retailer. So for retailer, they should not hesitate to keep MDF at least with them. I would like to see retailers keeping MDF as the way every hardware or plywood dealer is keep plywood stock. If this MDF has a fair chance to go up to that level, it should be available everywhere. Then only it will become it will reach to this.
So
And the potential is there.
Mr. Sati is saying that retailers have to join the speed of MDF. अगर उन्हें खुद ग्रो करना है तो MDF को कहीं ना कहीं रखना ही पड़ेगा, क्योंकि रिटेल काउंटर पर पहले एक्सेप्टेंस उतनी नहीं थी. आज गवर्नमेंट डिपार्टमेंट हो या आर्किटेक्ट हो या OEM हो या कारपेंटर हो या इवन ऑन साइट हो, MDF is now a necessity, and to take that necessity convert into sales, retailers को MDF को accept करना ही पड़ेगा.
So that, Pragath ji, just to add that, so that would be a wise step for retailers to have MDF with them. If they do not keep it, that would be a loss. That would be a business loss. That can be business loss for them.
Well taken. Point well taken. Sales बढ़ेगी अगर MDF को अपने bucket में add करेंगे. The retailers must notice it. It is not only plywood, hardware and laminate and other things. MDF has to be a part of it, says Mr. Sati. Mr. Sati, एक सवाल ये है. पिछले 2 सालों में जो हाई डेंसिटी हाई मॉइस्चर वाला जो कॉन्सेप्ट है, ग्रीन बोर्ड वाला, जो ग्रीन कलर का बोर्ड है, वो काफी तेजी से ऊपर आया. इसके ऊपर आने का क्या कारण है? आपकी क्या विचार है इस पर?
See, एक चीज, when the product goes more in residential, residential sector especially. So residential में, as compared to OEMs and furniture makers, normally people are more quality conscious. So when your retail percentage will go up, when your product will start going into residential, segment, then definitely your high value product will go up. That is the reason, this high value, our SDWR or exterior, we call it club SDWR. Then exterior also, even prelim grade, all these are picking up. This is more or less the situation everywhere.
सर एक छोटी सी चीज यहाँ पे पूछना चाहूंगा, क्लब HDWR और एक्सटीरियर में फर्क क्या है?
See, exterior का एक different uses है. Although exterior is also, having a better density as compared to normal industrial.
How much density?
See, the density of interior, अगर मैं बताऊं तो जो starting product होता है, that is somewhere around 730, 735, right?
Okay.
And whereas in case of exterior, it goes up to 760 to 780 also.
Okay.
And in thinner board, it may be slightly high.
And HDWR?
Correct. When we talk about HDWR or club grade, we say club SDF. There the density is minimum 830 to 855, 860 also.
इन दोनों में सेल कौन सी बड़ी है ज्यादा? इन दोनों में सेल कौन सी ज्यादा शूटअप हुई है, क्लब?
अगर मैं बात करता हूं तो नॉर्थ मार्केट में यस SGWR has picked up well. I think this is for every company. In south, different because the uses are different there, because there people prefer MDF for door making also. For normal, you can say it is going more in warehouse, that shelf and all, that store, warehouse stores and other things. So their exterior also goes well. So there the sales of exterior and club SDF, both the categories are picking up. In north it is SGWR more. And the sales of even we did not mention the other product, which is prelam, that is also very hot cake now. That is also going well. So because that gives a lot of ease to buyers. That's a ready-made product which customer can apply easily. I mean, it is the kind of cumbersome activity which is involved in doing a prelamination. If someone buys a raw board and does this at his home, or ask the carpenter to do it at his home, so it takes 3-4 days time. So it again, prelam is a ready-made product and ideal product for retail, for residential, wherein the customer as well as carpenter also saves a lot of time. Economically also it is quite viable. So all these products are picking up. This is actually the change. And this the good part is that this club SGWR is going into now kitchen making sectors also. I mean, kitchen manufacturers, they are using this. Then the cabinet manufacturers.
Have you seen high growth in Club 1, or have you seen high growth in HDWR 1?
So Club SGWR is same for us. We call it Club. SGWR means high density water resistant. So we call it Club, right?
Then
so
you are referring exterior as a different product category with lower
exterior is a different product.
So which one has grown higher, like exterior one or Club 1?
Club definitely has grown up by more than, I think, 50% for us, also 50 to 60%. And it's a very good product, and the average density is also very, very high, right? And the product is having water resistant properties into it.
So
and
this sudden dynamics of changing, ये sudden ब्रह्म ज्ञान कंज्यूमर को कहाँ से आया कि मुझे ये वाला लगाना है? ये 1 साल में ही क्यों हुआ या 1.5 साल में ही क्यों हुआ? पहले क्यों नहीं था ये?
नहीं, ब्रह्म ज्ञान ऐसे नहीं आता है. Over a period of time, gradually things evolve.
Okay.
So trade was aware about it, right? And second क्या है कि हम लोगों का भी focus. If you see last year when I interacted with you, probably I think we were running, after the volumes first. We wanted to attain our capacities, okay? Which is, we are having the largest plant in India. So the first target was to reach out to our capacity. Once we have reached out, attained our capacity, then how to get the values? Ultimately, company needs growth, business needs growth. We cannot be stagnant. So what next? Next is to upgrade your product mix. So when the focus is there of the company as well as team, so that goes down the line within the network, within the market, obviously to the end user also. And we did lot of promotional campaign to promote our rate and other things.
So actually, the continuous awareness program run by various companies or Greenpanel has worked out, and it has come to this level. The demand has come.
No, actually, I'll say this. This promotional campaign or to make this category popular, that was done by very few companies. Rest all are riding on that. So that is again a subjective issue. I mean, we can have a detailed debate on that. So it is not done by all. So somehow, the kind of adjustments and misuse and substandard products are going in market with the name of, SGWR or
so
club.
You are saying that awareness has come because a lot of effort has been put by leading with some quality conscious brands, and उस leading quality conscious ब्रांड्स में ग्रीन पैनल ने बहुत एक्टिव भूमिका निभाई, जिसकी वजह से कंज्यूमर की अवेयरनेस आई, कंज्यूमर ने क्लब ग्रेड को एक्सेप्ट किया अपने इंटीरियर के यूजेस में, राइट?
Yes, exactly.
And that is now being largely used in kitchen area.
That is kitchen area. Even in the residential, people are using this for furniture making also, for furniture, sofa. I mean, you can say bed and everything. It is going.
So
everywhere.
how much hit plywood has taken, and लिया है कि प्लाईवुड को हिट किया है कि नहीं इस कैटेगरी ने, क्लब ने?
See, I think no, it is again is a very hasty and very early statement to say that club has taken out the share of plywood, because plywood का एक different segment है. Plywood का जो buyer होता है if I see the branded ply, like 2-3 companies हैं, उनका अगर मैं देखता हूँ तो उनका प्राइस बैंड है 120 रुपए स्क्वायर फीट. Okay, whereas our club is still at 18 mm. If I see, it is the retail price would be somewhere around 105 rupees. So we are cheaper to those plywood company, but they are having how much share? They are having a very small share in market. The majority is still with Yamunanagar players, with the local buyers, with medium size, medium size companies, you can say. So competing them and pitching plywood, I think that would not be a very wise step for us. That we are not going into that thing. Otherwise, because
Shekhar ji,
I do not want myself to be projected as a replacement of plywood. We want
understood.
just a minute. Let me finish,
You,
please. My this. Yeah, I want to complete this. So instead of going into fight with plywood, we want to establish MDF as a separate category in market, because plywood, a buyer segment which is buying ply of 60 rupees, he will not buy my product which is costing him 100 rupees. So that I
correct.
think should be understood very well by even by my people, by we as an entrepreneur, as a company, as well as by my dealers also. If my dealers are trying to convert, expecting plywood sales to get converted into MDF sales, they used to compare the price that club is economical as compared to 18 ply. So it was going, but the kind of property which club is having cannot be compared with local plywood. That cannot be. That is not a justice to the product.
What are the properties, quickly add?
If you see, it is completely a melamine based product,
Okay.
right? The density is very high. The density remains 850 to 880. Even in lower thicknesses, it goes up to 900 also, right? That is also a cost. Then it is termite resistant. It is fungus resistant. It is borer resistant. It is water resistant. These all properties are there. So that if you see the major component, that is because of the melamine. So this is the reason, I think you might be, although I do not know whether that question will come or not, but yes, I would like to answer that upfront. Because of this only, people nowadays, what is happening in market is flooded with green colored material. Everyone is saying that it is club. Customer will have to understand this. The basic method. Yeah.
And how that customer will understand whether it is you're right. There are so many green colored. सबका हाई डेंसिटी है, सबका हाई मॉइस्चर है. हाउ टू जस्टिफाई जो प्रॉपर्टीज आपने बताई वो डेफिनेटली सब में एक जैसी तो नहीं होंगी. सो हाउ टू डिस्टिंग्विश इट? आप कह रहे हैं कस्टमर को समझना होगा. कस्टमर कैसे समझेगा? वो तो
बेसिक एक जो सिंपल एक्सरसाइज द कस्टमर कैन डू इफ ही इज रियली इन हरी. अदरवाइज द बेस्ट आइडिया इज टू टेक आउट वन सैंपल, राइट? Do a water dipping test at his home. Even I also did it personally at my office. I dipped my SDWR product versus a competitor's product for 24 hours. Then 48-hour testing I did. The product which actually absorbs maximum water, it means that is not a real or proper SDWR or a club product, or for that matter, you can say the high density product.
So one has to check the weight of it, right?
That is no. I'm coming to that. One has to buy a sample and do the testing, water dipping test. They'll have to put it into water. That is one way of doing it, right? But that immediately that will not happen. That will take probably I think 24-hour or 40-hour test they can do. But for a product like SDWR, so I think it is waiting for 2 days doing a test is somehow because they are paying 50%, 60% higher cost. So they should definitely try for this. And second option is immediately if someone is willing to test the product instantly, then the best way is to check the density of the product. Density, how can the customer will know, right? So there is a very simple formula, right? So density, to check the density, we can measure the length versus width versus height divided by 1000.
ये तो
that way they'll get the volume. No, listen. Once someone calculating the volume is slightly difficult. So length, width, and height, right, divided by 1000, that will that will give us the volume, and then they have to simply get it weighted. If they get the weight of the particular board, let's say 18 mm, I think ideally the weight should be around 50 kg minimum. So 50, if I divide, I'll do this calculation. So it is in square meter I can do 2.44 into 1.22 into 0.018. So this would be 0.053 into 100. So if I do that, let's say 50 divided by 0.0535. Yes. So that density would somewhere around, if the weight is 50 kg, the density would be somewhere around 935 kg. 50 divided by 0.535. 0.053. Yes. So it would be 900, kg. I mean,
इसको simplify करते हैं. Length, width, thickness divided by 1000 into.
By doing this, they'll get the volume.
Into weight.
No. Then once they get the value, then they have to get
mass by volume. Density is
mass divided by volume. Correct. Mass divided by volume, they'll get the density of the product.
So once they divide weight by the volume, which we have got this formula equal to density. Density आ गई आपकी 900, है ना?
900 density अगर if someone is giving, market में अगर उनको मिल रहा है, the product which they are talking A, B, C, barring very few companies, they cannot give this much of density at such a low price.
तो आज हम शेखर सती जी के साथ इस सेशन में दर्शकों हमने फिर से एक बार विज्ञान का वो पाठ पढ़ा जिसमें डेंसिटी पढ़ी जाती है, और वो अच्छा है क्योंकि हम फिर से बचपन में जाकर एक बार वो कक्षा 6 की डेंसिटी इज इक्वल टू मास बाय वॉल्यूम को अगर याद करके अपने कंज्यूमरों को भी ये बताते हैं तो जेन्युइन बोर्ड लेने में मदद मिलती है. दिस इज नॉट अ बोरिंग एक्सरसाइज, एक्चुअली दिस इज फॉर गुडनेस ऑफ द कंज्यूमर and those who are honest retailers, those who are honest customer sensitive traders will only buy and become stockists or become retailers for good products which goes around 900 density if they are buying any. सचमुच में कहने के लिए अगर वो वाटर रेजिस्टेंस हाई डेंसिटी वाला बोर्ड है तो दैट्स इट मिस्टर शेखर सती. आई वाज ट्राइंग टू कंक्लूड. या
So average density, अगर 830 से plus है आपका, because in higher thicknesses the density may not be so high. In lower thicknesses it goes high because we have to keep the.
So 800 to 900 is it?
No, 800 is very low.
850 to 900 is it?
830 to 900.
830 to 900 रेंज में डेंसिटी आती थी. अच्छा, अब क्विकली फटाफट कुछ क्वेश्चंस और दिमाग में है, so we have to go fast.
Yeah.
It is MDF is all about substrate commodity. जैसे मैं देखता हूँ कि MDF पे रेट सब कुछ बनता जा रहा है. क्या ये स्टील सीमेंट की तरह नहीं होता जा रहा जिसमें कि रेट कमोडिटी तो कस्टमर मांग रहा है उसको MDF तो लगाना ही है, अब वो सिर्फ रेट पूछेगा. क्या ब्रांड का कोई महत्व है?
I think Pragath ji, again it is a very debatable subject, right? I think you are trying to call it as a generic product or a commodity.
No, I am asking.
No, then I think it would not be fair to entire the sales team which is putting a lot of efforts to make this product sell in market. So
I mean,
it is not a product which is.
You reject this. You say no. The branded ones are definitely marking their identity. They command better price. Is it okay?
Yes.
But here comes the trick. What I observed, the price gap was earlier bigger. 5 रुपए नीचे मिलता था दूसरा, और ब्रांडेड वाला ग्रीन पैनल मिलता था अगर से 65 का तो दूसरा मिलता था 60-61 का. ऑफ लेट मैंने देखा कि वो गैप 1 रुपया 1.5 रुपया रह गया. और थोड़ा थोड़ा ये हो गया कि MDF तो चलो किसी का भी कर लो, एक ही है. That's why these questions are basically being asked by me to create an awareness whether Greenpanel is having certain better quality. Then what is it and how to get it, how to test it?
So I'll tell you, Pragath ji, the difference still between organized player and unorganized, it is not 1 rupee, it is not 2 rupee even, it is approximately 10 to 12%. If you compare my product with a local one, right, I am not talking about the situation when they offer a substandard product, right, projecting it as a very high density product.
Apple to apple product category.
Yes, apple to apple. If they do a fair practice versus a normal product of mine, the difference is 10 to 12%. It is not 1 or 2%, right? So that is why it is not easy. It is for first, I'll tell you, even MDF still is new, although the potential is there in market. Market is vacant. right? Market is vacant means market needs something new because entire market is with plywood. But since the category is still being, I'll consider it as a new category in market. So everyone need to know, I mean, team need to give a proper explanation, understanding, presentation, even to architects. You'll be surprised to know even architects, because we have started visiting the architects team now. We have we have a architects team, we have a government approval teams also. Even in architects, when our people are going, architects are also not aware about the MDF fully. It is not their mistake actually. It is basically the initiative was not taken by the MDF companies in past.
It
We
is
did it.
basically a journey, and that journey is being covered, right?
That we are trying now. We have started already. We have recruited a BDM team fully. Full size BDM
So
team.
you have geared up with a team and going forward to educate
Yes.
even the architect and designer
Yes.
level.
So this is the reason I'll tell you. We are going back to the previous question. This is the reason, when we are reaching out to the architects, influencers, especially for government department, the retail sale will go up. If retail sale goes up, then obviously your product mix will go up. And this is the reason this, SDWR is getting a good acceptance and growing in market. But the biggest threat is lying there only because most of the companies, or around the companies which you can say in line B or line 2, the kind of adjustment which I am hearing they are doing in market by just mixing the green color. So I think the dealer also should understand this. They should, as a company, it is expected from them, if they really want to grow, to adopt fair practices, right?
Very important point added by Mr. Shekhar Sati today is, so far, मैं एक बार conclusively कंपाइल करता हूं और फटाफट 5-6 पॉइंट आप लोगों को बताता हूं कि अब तक 25 मिनटों में हमने क्या बात की और 10-15 मिनट बचे हैं. स्टे विद अस, कीप लाइकिंग प्लाई रिपोर्टर एफबी पेज, इंस्टा पेज एंड यूट्यूब लिंक्स. बट लिसन, अब तक क्या कहा? अब तक ये है एमडीएफ फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग है. एमडीएफ 6% पूरे मार्केट पाई का हिस्सा लेता है, लेकिन इसमें बहुत सारा स्कोप है. तीसरा, एमडीएफ में नई प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी यानी वैल्यू एडेड कैटेगरी लास्ट 2 सालों से इसलिए तेजी से आगे बढ़ रही है क्योंकि उसमें कंपनी ने क्वालिटी को एनहेंस किया और उसके लिए बहुत अवेयरनेस क्रिएट की, उसकी डेंसिटी को बढ़ाया, उसको वाटरप्रूफ बनाया, उसको कॉम्पिटेंट बनाया जो कस्टमर की रिक्वायरमेंट्स थी. और इसकी वजह से धीरे धीरे जब अवेयरनेस में बहुत सारा ब्रांडेड कंपनीज ने, ग्रीन पैनल ने बहुत मेहनत की और उसके बाद उस प्रोडक्ट की डिमांड बढ़ी और डिमांड बढ़ने से यहां पर डिमांड आ गई. अब डिमांड आने के बाद हुआ कि कैसे डिस्टिंग्विश करें, तो डिस्टिंग्विश करने के लिए आज सती जी ने कहा कि भाई इसको 830 to 900 की डेंसिटी के बीच में अगर वो प्रोडक्ट है तो वो बहुत अच्छा है. लोअर द थिकनेस, हायर द डेंसिटी, हायर द थिकनेस, इट कैन बी लोअर साइड. दैट इज व्हाट सो फार वी हैव हर्ड. नाउ व्हेन वी आर आस्किंग दैट इज देयर एनी malice or substandard product is being given, now Mr. Sati is adding, yes, it is being done. Yes, the companies are not giving apple to apple product, but they are just coloring it. They are coloring in green color or putting some color, but not adding that quantity of chemicals or the pressure, I mean density they are not adding, and hence the price gap वो थोड़ा बहुत रख के अगर वो माल बेच के सबस्टैंडर्ड मटेरियल अगर वो सप्लाई कर रही है, तो जो मीडिएटर है, जो स्टॉकिस्ट है, his responsibility to not to forward or not to give or not to supply this material, because eventually this will dent the market and the image created by so many efforts. फिर आप HD, WR, क्लब ग्रेड या जो भी इस अच्छे प्रोडक्ट की इज्जत को आप खराब नहीं करेंगे. ऐसा इसलिए कहा जा रहा है क्योंकि प्लाईवुड में भी ऐसा देखा गया, वाटरप्रूफ प्रोडक्ट्स को डिपिंग करके नकली दिया गया और जिसकी वजह से आज वाटरप्रूफ प्लाईवुड की भी इज्जत खराब हुई. तो ऐसा इस प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी में ना हो, ये अपील है. और ये अपील मिस्टर शेखर कहते हैं कि एप्पल टू एप्पल कंपैरिजन कीजिए. हर हरा बोर्ड जरूरी नहीं है कि वो, हर हरा कलर वाला बोर्ड जरूरी नहीं है कि वो ये वाली कैटेगरी हो. इसमें आप अपनी जांच करें, अपनी पड़ताल करें. और आगे अगला सवाल है शेखर जी, जब हम स्टॉकिस्ट पे आई गए, स्टॉकिस्ट लेकिन हमेशा कहते हैं एमडीएफ में बिल्कुल बचता नहीं है पैसा, आरवाई तो नहीं है. व्हाट इज योर कमेंट ऑन इट?
सर उसका रिप्लाई भी यही है. अगर वो लोग फेयर प्रैक्टिसेस की हम बात कर रहे थे, फेयर प्रैक्टिसेस अनफेयर को सी, अगर ये लोकल कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट जो SDWR कह के वो बेचते हैं तो उसी प्राइस पे बिकता भी है. दे आर नॉट गेटिंग ए बिग मार्जिन इन दैट. सबको मार्केट में पता है सबस्टैंडर्ड प्रोडक्ट मींस अ कॉम्प्रोमाइज मार्जिन आल्सो. Now, if they sell my product, my high value product, wherein we as a company are putting a lot of efforts to increase the sale, we are working on brand building, we are going in different kind of promotional activities, we are doing promotional campaigns, we are supporting them. So let's say if without doing anything, a product which they were selling at rupees 100, right? If they switch over to our club grade product, so the same product they will be selling at 150. And you see, if they on 100 they were getting 10 rupee, I mean 10% margin, that way they were earning 10 rupees. On 150 with the same percentage of margin, if they get the same percentage of margin, at least that way in high density product, then also they'll be getting 15% margin. So their margins in term of rupee, it is increasing. It will definitely increase in percentage also, but provided they'll have to be honest, they'll have to accept, because I mean, it is the trader's responsibility also to offer a fair product to the customer. I think as a company, as a buyer, as a mediator, I think we should stop all such activities wherein the customer is ultimately getting cheated. This is not a fair practice. If the customer gets cheated, then the product gets defamed, and the product actually cannot come up in, it is very difficult to come out of that. That entire category will get killed. That you also mentioned. So they'll have to understand, they also have certain responsibility.
Mr. Sati, how do you see the MDF journey in next 3 years?
Sir, MDF journey, again, I'm quite optimistic, right? Yes, I said that it would be competitive, but we welcome, all the companies. We can stop them to come in, and it is good, if domestic market, is getting options. But only request to them would be, at least to these buyers, if they really want to grow, they should adopt the fair practices. They should not get into, things which actually compromise their image, compromise trade's image. Ultimately, those companies will not be able to grow. Even I heard that tax adjustments are also doing, few of the companies. This was never heard in, in MDF. So these kind of practices, that will not take them to a longer run. Those companies will be finished, because the kind of, you cannot make turnover, you cannot grow in a organized way if you go for all these practices. So the future is very good. Potential is there. Market, fair chance is there that market from 8% it go up to 20%. Still, I say, still 5-10 companies, if they come, I think we should not be, get panic about it. Only thing is that, all the companies should work to promote MDF as a category in market. That is what I repeated last year also. I'm repeating the same thing again. We will have to work to popularize MDF as a category. If we are able to create a bigger market for us, then I think getting, share would not be a great thing. Probably, my share, which is now 33, 35, that slightly may go down. But if in term of value, because, if a lot of players would be there, then everybody will get the share out of 100 only. But, in value, let's say if I close X turnover this year, 1150, we have already done, right? Whatever turnover we'll do after years time, probably, next year, if I can do 2000, I can go up to 3000, 2500, 3000. So fair practices that are fair chances are there for every company. Business will grow in value. That is for sure. But, everybody will have to work for the category, to promote the category.
So,
yes.
So next 3 years, there will be competition with new plants, but it will be healthy if companies are not going for substandard product or any unethical practices, informal way. टैक्स चोरी करके अगर आप थोड़ा बहुत माल ज्यादा भी बेच लेंगे तो मिलेगा क्या? स्टॉकिस्ट से विनम्र निवेदन है कि वो लोग स्टिक करें अच्छे प्रोडक्ट और अच्छी प्रैक्टिसेस से. दैट इज व्हाट मिस्टर शेखर सती इज सेइंग, एंड डेफिनेटली आई एग्री टू हिम 100%. Any company, any economy, any product bucket or any trade cannot grow without being honest. And honest means what? Do your books very clean. आज वैसे भी स्कोप नहीं है, आप अपनी बुक्स को क्लीन रखें. अच्छे प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी में जिसमें एमडीएफ में कभी सुना नहीं जाता था, अगर ऐसी प्रैक्टिसेस हैं तो ये डेफिनेटली निंदनीय है, क्रिटिसाइज्ड है और ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. दैट इज व्हाट मिस्टर सती इज एडिंग. आई एम सपोर्टिंग इन फुल सपोर्ट ऑफ हिम. Mr. Sati, one more thing I'll quickly ask now because the time is now, we are almost ending. क्या डेकोरेटिव सरफेस एमडीएफ में एप्लीकेशंस की ग्रोथ होने वाली है? क्योंकि अब तक तो हम लोग सबस्ट्रेट की बात कर रहे थे, यानी 9 mm, 6 mm, 4 mm, पतला मोटा MDF, हाई डेंसिटी, ये सब बातें करते हैं. व्हाट अबाउट डेकोरेटिव एप्लीकेशंस ऑफ MDF अदर देन ड्यूको पेंट? क्या नए प्रोडक्ट इसमें, जैसे फ्लोरिंग, लैमिनेटेड फ्लोरिंग जो बहुत चाइना से इंपोर्ट होता है, या और तरह के सर्फेसेस ग्रीन पैनल के बकेट में है, या क्या है उनकी स्थिति?
So flooring, flooring is a product which actually we are doing very good. In fact, if I just share my numbers last year versus this year, the sales are almost more than you can say double.
And तो अभी आपने एक डाटा मेंशन किया 1150 करोड़, इसमें फ्लोरिंग कितने % हो सकता है?
सर परसेंटेज की बात करें तो फ्लोरिंग का एक्चुअली मेरा बिजनेस क्या था, आपको पहले ये समझना पड़ेगा. मेरा फ्लोरिंग का बिजनेस पहले था, लेट्स से 1 लाख यू कैन से 2-2.25 लाख स्क्वायर फीट फ्लोरिंग हर महीने हम बेचते थे. आज की डेट में हम 6 लाख स्क्वायर फीट फ्लोरिंग बेच रहे हैं.
So you are grown 300% since your last year.
बॉक्सेस में बोलता हूँ तो हम 12-13 करोड़ कर रहे थे, इस बार हम 30 करोड़ का टर्नओवर कर रहे हैं.
It is fast growing.
Yeah. But in flooring, we are working on the capacities now. The market is very good, growing well, and flooring business is definitely, because imports in flooring also are not happening, and scope is there. And if quality product is there, then definitely the buyers are also there in market.
So price और price sensitive नहीं है laminated flooring?
Price sensitive सब कुछ होता है. Price easily sellable is nothing. We were talking about MDF, we are talking about flooring. So it is, nothing is easy. But we have to make a way out of everything.
Very correct.
We are honest. We have to offer the USPs to the to the buyer. If we are able to give him the good proposition, value for money product, he will buy it.
We'll have to आप कैपेसिटीज बढ़ा रहे हैं और उसके फोकस उस पे करने जा रहे हैं. That is what.
थोड़ा इंतजार करते हैं सर, इसमें इंतजार करते हैं. Let's see. अभी 2-3 महीने बाद.
Of course. Mr. Sati,
I'll not be able to comment anything on that.
Mr. Sati, what about decorative surfaces MDF, जैसे UV हो गया, decorative foiling हो गई, क्या इस तरह के भी प्रोडक्ट पॉसिबल हैं आपके द्वारा कर रहे हैं?
Yes, in fact sir, Pragath ji, we have already done lot of innovation into this. Apart from veneer, so we are already there, but yes, we are offering veneer on MDF also to just to make it competitive. And we have again created a category called you can say the commercial product, or price wise slightly economical product, by offering okume, okume and acacia, mango, sesame, and all these we are offering that veneer on MDF. So cost wise, that is actually very cost effective.
Pre-finished product, ready to install product on MDF.
Yes. So it is actually, we were able to create a very good market also, but since we got stuck in a lot of things, again there was a pressure of demand. But I think now probably we will be able to do it, because somehow the demand is getting settled. Demand and supply, because earlier the supply was less or demand was high, you say. So that somehow could not do, but I think this is the right time. Probably we can think about adding the product which
more value-added product, more household products.
That can give us a value as well as a different proposition and variety to market also. So we would be definitely working on that. Flooring is a focus product. Veneer MDF is a focus product, and we are coming up into all different categories also. We are working out.
So we will certainly wait to see what changes is happening. Now you are president of marketing and sales. One particular question I'll ask you. Yes, if you have got the power to change something in this wood panel trade, marketing sales front पे क्या करेंगे? वो कौन सी चीज होगी जिसको आप बदलना चाहेंगे?
I think सर सबसे पहली बात तो ये है कि जो ट्रेड में सबसे खराब और जो बहुत ही पेन पॉइंट है ट्रेड का, I would like to convert this trade to absolutely a organized business from unorganized sector, because that is the biggest pain. Ultimately unorganized में whatever adjustment companies are doing, even dealers do, that is end of the day, that's a
sir, the Ply Reporter mission, when we started in 2001, the mission was to bring the trade from unorganized to organized. We have crossed now 21 years doing that. Maybe we have got little inched ahead, but what we see now, that there is a light and it is going to be now achievable.
I'm absolutely with you on this. So I think together we should drive this as a move, and we should try to bring that change. We should try to at least make people understood that what all advantages
it is now. It is acceptable now. 2 to 3 years more. That's it. I'll say things are changing, and now I'll ask you one more quick question. if there is some tip you would like to give to sales people, sales professional, what it will be?
I think my only suggestion to them would be to be honest to themselves first, because as an individual, first we know that our capability is more than anybody else. I think if they are honest to themselves, and they should understand what all weaknesses, what all positive points they have, and if they know their weaknesses, then obviously they'll have to work on their weaknesses. So they have to honest to themselves for anything which they are doing.
But
Honesty comes from heart, right?
but what you are saying, being honest to themselves, ये बड़ा टफ है, ये एक तपस्या है, और इसको समझना भी अपने आप में एक wisdom चाहिए.
हाँ, so प्रगत जी, हर चीज
थोड़ा और इजी बताइए, और इजी बताइए जो समझ में आ जाए.
तो हर थोड़ी सी चीज जो है वो कठिन नहीं होती है, इतना आसान नहीं होता है. तपस्या क्या है, इसको अगर अपनी कमी को पता करके उसमें अगर वर्किंग करना स्टार्ट करते हैं, तो आई थिंक वी कैन ब्रिंग लॉट ऑफ चेंजेस इन आवरसेल्फ. Number two, for them would be, whatever they are doing, everybody, I think our, audience team, they may be assigned with different responsibilities, right? So I think they should understand, they should learn to take the responsibilities first. Ownership of anything, whatever task is being given to them, that is very, very important. Doing self-evaluation of themselves, that what all thing I did, end of the day, if I go home, if I am able to answer myself that I did everything with full honesty and dedication, so I think then I do not need any certification. But if I do honest introspection, evaluation, assessment, self-assessment, then I'll get the answer. I think so. This all is part of being honest. You said elaborate it, so it is not tough. When we say being honest, means this everything covers. To work on your weaknesses, to own the responsibilities whatever I've been given, to do justice with the assignments or responsibilities you have been given. So basically, giving responsibility, sir, just a moment. Giving responsibility is one thing, but taking accountability is more important.
Taking accountability,
yes,
is the word.
So they do that, yeah.
दोस्तों, बहुत सारे हिंदी के हमारे साथी होते हैं और डीलर भी होते हैं. आज सबने आज के इस सेशन को सुना. क्रिस्प कहूं तो बहुत छोटी टेक अवेज हैं. एक कि ब्रांडेड कंपनियां जितना एफर्ट कर रही हैं उनका साथ दें. दूसरा, ऑनेस्ट प्रैक्टिसेस करें. तीसरा, अच्छी प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी को अपनाएं. अच्छी प्रोडक्ट क्वालिटी एमडीएफ में डेंसिटी टेस्ट को कहते हैं, और उसके वेट के हिसाब से उसको कैलकुलेट करें और एप्पल टू एप्पल प्रोडक्ट कंपैरिजन करें, ना कि किसी अच्छे प्रोडक्ट को लोकल से करके. अच्छा, इसमें एक और खास बात है दोस्तों, आज के सेशन में एक निकल के आया कि आरओआई अगर देखना है तो ये भी देखिए कि प्रेशर कितना है माइंड को माल बेचने का. अगर आप एक ऑर्गेनाइज प्रोडक्ट बेचते हैं, ऑर्गेनाइज कंपनी का प्रोडक्ट बेचते हैं, नोन प्रोडक्ट बेचते हैं, तो ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस है वहां. जबकि लोकल कंपनीज में ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस घट जाता है. हो सकता है आप थोड़ा मार्जिन बढ़ा लें. यानी कहीं ना कहीं यार ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस भी कोई चीज होती है, उसको तवज्जो दें, एप्पल कंपैरिजन करें. और सबसे पहली बात, अनएथिकल प्रैक्टिसेस को बिल्कुल बढ़ावा ना दें. सेल्स टीम के लिए सजेशन है कि भाई जितने भी सेल्स प्रोफेशनल हैं, वो जो उनको वर्क असाइन होता है उस वर्क को पहले तो करें, उसको एनालाइज करें और फिर देखें कि उनमें कमी क्यों आई. क्या सिर्फ कंपनी की कमी निकालनी है या अपनी भी? अपनी कमी पहले दूर करें, कंपनी की तो अपने आप वक्त के साथ दूर हो जाएगी. ऐसा सजेशन है सती जी का. दूसरा जो महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा अभी निकल के आया कि एमडीएफ एज ए प्रोडक्ट कैटेगरी रिटेलर्स के लिए बहुत जरूरी है. हर रिटेलर को जरूरी है कि वो ग्रीन पैनल जैसे कोई भी अच्छे प्रोडक्ट को अपने दुकानों पर रखे, क्योंकि आर्किटेक्ट्स और हाउस होल्ड कंज्यूमर्स भी एमडीएफ के एप्लीकेशंस को समझने लगे हैं, अपनाने लगे हैं और उसकी बेहतरी को, उसकी क्वालिटी को एक्सेप्ट करने लगे हैं. इसी वजह से लास्ट 2 सालों में यह प्रोडक्ट बहुत हॉट हुआ है. आने वाले समय में बहुत सारे लोग आएंगे, कंपटीशन बढ़ेगा, लेकिन इसी में मजा है. ग्रीन पैनल ने ऑलरेडी अब तक 1150 करोड़ का इस साल टर्नओवर किया है. एक शानदार परफॉर्मेंस. शायद इसी वजह से अगर हम स्टॉक प्राइसेस देखें तो इसने शानदार वृद्धि की है. ग्रीन पैनल का जो प्लांट है वो अपने आप में वर्ल्ड क्लास है. और शिखर जी ने एक चीज और ऐड की. आने वाले समय में हम 2000 करोड़ कब जाएंगे, शायद वक्त तुरंत कर लें, because the market is growing, there is plenty of opportunity. 6% प्रोडक्ट शेयर है जो बढ़ के पता नहीं कितना हो सकता है, क्योंकि वुड पैनल स्पेस में अभी भी बहुत जगह बाकी है. सती जी ने एक और बात कही जो सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है, वो ये है कि डीलर्स के लिए या स्टॉकिस्ट के लिए आरओआई हमेशा अच्छी है अगर आप उसे ईज ऑफ डूइंग बिजनेस की भी कुछ वैल्यू डाल दें, पीस ऑफ माइंड की कुछ वैल्यू डाल दें, अपनी रेपुटेशन की कुछ वैल्यू डाल दें और प्रोडक्ट के प्राइस के हिसाब से मार्जिन को देखें तो आप उसमें 15%, 12%, 14%, ऐसा ही कहा ना सर आपने?
यस यस।
अब इसका वेरिफिकेशन हम बाद के एपिसोड्स में करेंगे। चलते चलते एक सजेशन और ले लेंगे मिस्टर शेखर से कि ग्रीन पैनल पर्सपेक्टिव से, ग्रीन पैनल के प्रोडक्ट बकेट के पर्सपेक्टिव से आपको डीलर्स और रिटेलर्स को कुछ सजेशन देना है, जरूर दें।
सो डीलर्स और रिटेलर्स से मेरी यही सबमिशन रहेगी, रिक्वेस्ट रहेगी एंड सजेशन रहेगा. So especially, I mean, the entire trade. So trust us, be with us. We are fully prepared. I mean, whatever, last 2 years, you might have seen lot of changes we have done. Customer centricity is absolutely in our focus. We have adopted this. We are giving this a top priority. आप हमारे बहुत valuable buyer हैं. आपका हमेशा, the kind of belongingness, togetherness, and your care, everything, we respect this a lot, and you will time and again, you will feel that. I think our team in market, and I have told my entire team also, communicated to entire team also, to be humble, to be there, to to be a help for the entire trade, and to become a problem solver, to work as a sales consultant rather than the salesman who is simply going and asking for the orders. I always tell them that you provide them the solutions. If you give them the solution, they'll be yours. So the brand Greenpanel is always there with them. It is committed, and in coming days we have planned a lot. I can give you one assurance here today. If let's say whatever X turnover, if I do 1500 crore, just a figure I'm talking, this year probably, if I in next 3 years time, if I'm doing turnover of 3000 crore, if I'm doubling my business, so I can ensure that if a dealer is doing, let's say, 10 crore today, I can give you an assurance to the dealer that yes, definitely, if the company grows, your business size from 10 crore, it will go up to 30 crore. So we are always there. We are backing our loyal dealers. And if you do 30 crore, you see your valuation with simple 10% margin also. If I calculate that way, I think by doing 10 crore, they are earning 1 crore annually with us. But I'll give them a chance to earn, even to make 3 crores with us. So be with us, trust in us. You are associated with a great company which is focused enough, which understand the responsibilities. We are working on the shortcomings, and we have changed a lot. We are changing a lot many things. We are always receptive. We welcome changes. So with this, I think I'll conclude. I request my channel partners and my architects, my influencers, government department, even my whole team to be with us, to have a faith in brand Greenpanel.
Thank you, Mr. Shekhar. Today, आज के session में, today. In today's session, what we have got so far is very important. If you have heard it, if you have not heard it, go to the link again, reheard it, rehear it. अगर आपको टाइम कम है, फास्ट फॉरवर्ड करके भी देखिए. अगर आप हाई स्पीड में देख सकते हैं तो यूट्यूब पे जाके 1.5x की स्पीड पर देखिए. लेकिन देखिए और दिखाइए, लाइक कीजिए और सब्सक्राइब कीजिए. और याद रखिए, अगर आप प्लाई रिपोर्टर के साथ हैं, सरफेसेस रिपोर्टर के साथ हैं, तो आप वैसे भी सबसे आगे हैं, क्योंकि ईमानदारी से किया गया प्रयास और ईमानदारी से दिया गया नॉलेज दोनों बरकत लाता है. शेखर जी, चलते चलते क्या आप हमें भी कोई सजेशन दे सकते हैं, हमारे एडिटर्स को, हमारी फील्ड टीम को, हमारे सभी पूरे प्लाई रिपोर्टर परिवार को, प्लीज?
I think, Pragath ji, I definitely would like to convey my good wishes to you, and the way you are working, and traveling a lot, meeting people. Even I have seen you doing a lot of other things also, apart from just increasing your network or running this organization, Ply Reporter, Surface Reporter, as a publication house. I think you are involved in a lot of other things also. Plantations you do, social work you do. Your recent move to help one of our colleague. It was outstanding. So what we want, some company and some organization who is doing good and very having a human centric approach also, and can think something beyond the boxes. I think that is great. You guys are doing great. I have lot of good wishes for the whole team of Ply Reporter, Surface Reporter. and we would like to have such sessions with you in future too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Today we had session with Mr. Shekhar Sati, President Sales and Marketing from Greenpanel, the plants of MDF, plywood and veneer, and there are many products which are going to come in the bucket. आने वाले समय में आप और भी बहुत सारे ब्रांड बस देखेंगे। वेबिनार्स की संख्या हमने थोड़ी घटाई है क्योंकि ज्यादा नॉलेज कई बार डाइजेशन को प्रॉब्लम करता है, काम करने में असर देता है, लेकिन बहुत सारे तर्कश में नॉलेज के लिए प्लेटफॉर्म तैयार है। जल्दी ही मिलेंगे अगले वेबिनार में या ब्रांड बस में। अगले संडे बीच में एक आएगा मार्केट अपडेट विद प्रगत। जरूर शेयर कीजिएगा, लाइक कीजिएगा और इस वीडियो को अपने सभी कम्युनिटी में स्प्रेड करें, क्योंकि इसमें नॉलेज है, इसमें काम की बातें हैं जो आपके कैरियर को और आपके बिजनेस को दोनों को बढ़ा सकती हैं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। Thank you all for joining us today. It was a large number and I hope that you will take this video viewership to 10,000 or more. Thank you very much. शेखर जी, सभी को हमारा अभिवादन। Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.